Hello there, my name is Ashley and welcome back. Really, thank you for coming back and listen or watching my video. I'm really excited. It's a little bit cold where I am. As you see, I'm with my blankie. I wrap around and because it's above the zero but I +2 and it's a little bit cold at the moment, and so I'm a little bit want to be warm while I'm talking to you, so I have my blankie. Today I want to talk about trust after betrayal, and this is very hard subject. It's something that I struggle with and it's not easy for me to say. So what is betrayal basically? Betrayal is everything you told your family. Because I grew up in narcissistic family, so everything you told a friend, family, acquaintance, colleagues, somebody you work with, and they went behind your back and share with other people something that you told in private. It can be your private affairs, your own private affairs, things that you have your own things for you, that is your own private information you share with a friend in a confident, and they went behind your back and just, by the way, blah 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 to other person. And basically what they did, they rewrite the narrative of how people think about you, which is not fair. And on the other thing, also they help you to rewrite your nervous system if it's happened quite often. For me, as somebody raised by a narcissist, the hot and cold behavior really affected my life and really affected who I am. They didn't respect my boundaries, like I don't want everybody know if I share with you something, one by one, so I meant it to be between us. And also I was account responsible for what happened, so it was really devastating for me. So I want to share my first story with you. So I was a teenager and I was in high school. I love art classes was my favorite. We have the history of art, we have drawing class, we have like modern art, and it was so fun. And my favorite thing, it was art, and I have like around 6-7 hours a week of doing art, and it was my favorite hours out of the week, to be honest. But we have also other things. We study history, we study mathematics, we study all the other things that you need to know, the basics you need to know. And I was not excelling in mathematics. I was not the best in mathematics. And basically, we had a meeting before school year, a PTA, parents meet the teachers, but this meeting was for my parents meet my parents, the teacher meet my parents basically, see if the parents know what the year goal is, and to get to know the teachers. Some of them were new, some of them were never tried this subject before, and one of them was my mathematics teacher I never met before. Before the school year, my parents went to her and said, just let you know, my daughter Ashley is not very good in mathematics. She's not going to excel in your class, just to let you know, FYI, to let you know that she's the worst student and don't expect much from her. More or less, this was the words. So we have the first class. I never met the teacher never met me. Before she read the attendance list to see who is here, who is not, and she said, who is Ashley? And I raised my hand and she said, oh, your parents told me you're going to be stuck in mathematics. You're not going to work. This is not going to work for you. And for me, it was like, the surprise that I was go to any mathematics class. I show up, I do my homework, I did every exam, I show up. I never felt sick to stay at home and not to attend. I didn't do that. And I was like going, showing up, trying to do my best. And instead of my parents go to the teacher and say, this is my daughter. She may be a little bit, gonna be a little bit hard for her, but we all here for her, to support her, to assist her, to see how she gonna manage it better this year, how to make it easy for her this year. It was like, don't expect much from her, and she's gonna be sucking it anyway. She's not gonna be good, and don't expect anything from her. And when the parents really build a narrative for a child, is horrible, especially in school. Especially instead of come and say, hey, you mathematics teacher, are we willing to pay you to do the daughter after school? Or we were going to find a way for her to find a way to work better in school. No, they didn't do it. And for this follow lots of cases, and my parents would like make a character testimonial for me for a lot of people. They would talk about me with the neighbours, they would talk to me about the family cleaner, come every 2 weeks. They would talk about me with so many people. So over the years, I'm going to hear stories come back to me with so negative stories that I didn't know what to do with it. But the humiliation and the shame being in front of my peers and class and being belittled by a teacher should support me and help me and assist me and find a way to make me better. They was very, very hurtful. And they know they did it. They would never apologize. They would never say, I'm sorry. And they never would take any responsibility. What it did to me, now I know that my nervous system is very, very, very fragile. I didn't know that before. So basically for me, it trained my nervous system to basically associate closeness with others by hot and cold. So if you're out and cold with me, for me it's normal. For me it's just okay, it's hot and cold, it's something that I've been used to. It just built me. For me, it was like not only violate my boundaries and my family. They violate my boundaries. They also violate my respect for them. I trusted them with a vulnerable thing, and they went and stopped me, basically behind my back. And this is one story. The other story I want to share is about my sister, the golden child. And basically my sister dated this guy, and after a few I think a year or two, they figure out they're ready to take the next step. Her boyfriend proposed to her, she said yes, and this is the first time I met the family. I never met the family before. I was living abroad. I lived in London for a while, and I was not back at home, so I was not there to know what's going on with my sister. So I came back, and the first time I met the mother of the groom-to-be, she was very unnice to me. Like, she don't even say, how are you, nothing. She said, I know everything about you. And it was like really uncomfortable, when somebody talked behind your back, basically, and share a story that is not true about you and about who you are. And I was like staying there, and she was like, yeah, I heard you the problem one, I heard blah 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 blah. And she didn't want to go inside all the things that my sister shared about me behind my back. But it was like a lot of things that have been told about me that were not true, and not true to the point that I felt very uncomfortable with. And it was not very easy for me. Like, a total stranger, never met you, didn't have 10 minutes conversation with you, already built a character in our own mind. And what my sister did it in order to build a narrative of a good and bad. She's a good person, I'm the bad person. She's the more caring, loving, I'm the most irresponsible human being. Instead of like, you know, get to know the mum of the family and just get to know her, and she get to know me, and let it be smooth. And if after she talked to me for 10 minutes she decided bad damage, not good, she have the right to think like this. But if somebody plant the narrative, it's very, very, very hard to trust afterwards. So where do I struggle with trust? And I have a few places that I'm struggling with trust. The other one is trust others. I don't trust people very easily. Oh, it's really hard for me to share. I can hear it in my voice. It's not easy for me to trust a stranger so easily. I'm very cautious about who I'm inviting into my circle. I don't trust people, what people say. I need to show evidence, physical evidence of what we're saying is really true. I'm really, really careful what I say to people. I'm really careful to be labeled as something that I'm not. So I'm very careful what I'm saying to others and what I say in trust to others. For example, the other day, I wrote one of my friend message, and I say the energy is very, very hard for me because we're going through changes, as you know. And she like asked first if she noticed it in her life and everything, and then she asked me back, and it was hard for me to open up and show what's going on in my life, that I having mini panic attack, and I was worried about so many things, and I didn't know how to explain it to her, and it was very hard for me to open up about what I felt, because I felt like I don't want to be too much for other people, but I don't want to be judged also by others and be mislabeled as, you know, as something that I'm not. So trust is really, really hard for me. Even trust myself. When people are hot and cold, yes and no, and they say one thing, they do the other. Or they say, oh, I just let them know that they should know you are, you know, in order for them to be prepared to what you're going to say next, you know. For me, it's horrible. You shouldn't do that. And if you have somebody in your life, they do it to others. They say, you know, just let, you know, the Rebecca is blah, 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 blah. This is a bad sign, usually. Get to know Rebecca better, and maybe figure out she's not what somebody else built a narrative for her. But basically, betrayal is in order for the other person to gain more power. And the last and the least story I'm going to tell about my parents, and this was really, really huge betrayal. Back in 2011, I wanted to study medicine. I wanted to be a doctor. And it came after I got accepted to art school, and I've been told all my life that I'm going to be a graphic designer, and I've been told it by my family that this is what I'm going to do. And my family would say, even you're going to be a graphic designer for the government. They just told me what I'm going to do. My family already told me, you could work for the government, you're going to do the books for children in school, you're going to design this one, you're going to work in a secure job. And I felt this is not what I wanted to do. I don't want to be a graphic designer. I love to create, don't get me right, I love art and craft, but I don't feel like I needed to do like graphic designing, and I felt like it's not for me. So I went to nature, just walk in nature, and I got a decision that basically I'm not gonna go to art school, although I had the acceptance letter and they were willing to accept me for the first year. I decided this is not for me, and thank God I didn't do the degree. Really, thank God, because if I did, what gonna happen is today I'm gonna be unemployed as a graphic designer, and I'm gonna have huge debt to the university. And no, thank God that I didn't feel like. So I remember by walking, because I was not strange for mixing stuff. You know, I love mixing, I love creating stuff for beauty. And back in the day, I was all about makeup and all about, you know, make, you know, stuff on my face for natural stuff, you know, mask and everything. And I love those things. And I tried different recipe and they work great, you know, and I really, really loved it. And I say, you know what, I can study, I can be a doctor, this is what I can do, and I can help other people, you know, like deal with their problems and everything. And so I find a school, pre-med school. I have saving, but I couldn't open up the saving till a certain date. I have 6 months to wait in order for me to open up the saving, in order for me to use the money. And I couldn't do that. So I called my parents and just told them, you know, I want to go to pre-med and I want to study because I want to be that and that and that and that. And my parents said, okay, if you want us to loan you the money and you pay us back when you saving account will open up. So we need to come with you to the school. We need to make sure that the school will not take use of you. This was the words. So they will not manipulate you, they will not take your money away from you, they're not going to do anything, you know, to harm you. So we need to know that the school is not this evil. So I said yes. All right, so my mum tagged along with me. We went to the school, we talked to the ad manager. The ad manager told me basically that basically it told me about the process and everything and what I need to study, and he also showed me the book I'm going to study with for pre-med and everything, and I was so excited about it. And then my mum sit there, I say, I don't understand. She should be a graphic designer. I don't understand why she dragged me here. I don't understand why I'm sitting in front of you when I know for a fact my daughter not gonna be a doctor. She's not gonna be able to be a doctor. She don't have the grades. She was not good in mathematics. I don't understand why she's here. I don't understand why I need to give you money. I don't need to give you any money to her. This is not okay. You know, why should I pay her money when she is not good in that? She's not going to be a doctor. She's not good in it. I don't know why she's here. And why is she in this, why are you willing to accept her? Because I don't think she's a good fit for you. It's really hard for me. I'm sitting from mum and I'm holding myself. I'm holding myself right now, not to cry and not burst in tears, because this is what I want to do. I'm excited about helping others and I'm excited about shaping life. I didn't understand why it's important for you to give me a character testimony in front of a total stranger and basically say, my daughter is not going to be good at that, so don't trust my daughter, she's going to be the worst one. This is a waste of her time, your time, our time. I remember going back home. I was living separate and my parents, I rented my own flat. Sitting on the floor and crying because I didn't understand why my mum needed to do that in front of a total stranger. You know, like belittle me, tell me I'm not good at anything, you know, and paint a narrative to another person to think about me that is not true. So definitely is something that I struggle with a lot. Trust, even trust my home judgment sometimes. It's hard for me because I really, really want to agree with the other person. I really want to believe that I'm the wicked witch of the West. I really want to believe in it. And because I grew up in a home that trust was like used to the game of others. and not was something that was built on caring, loving, supporting, as something that's used in order to build the narrative. I'm the good one, I'm the smart one, I'm the successful one. She is the black sheep, she is the damaged good. This affected me. Affected me to believe my own story, to believe that something bad happened to me, to really believe that this might happen to me. Last year, I had a bad thing that happened to me at work, and I needed ChatGPT to tell me, you are not wrong, you're right. This is betrayal. This is horrible thing. And not fighting with myself. Maybe I'm exaggerated. Maybe I say something. Maybe I act well. So yeah, betrayal is really, really, really hard to overcome. It's really, really hard to overcome when somebody twists your words, somebody talk behind your back and build a narrative for you to deal with, and for me it's just not easy. And so if you deal with this, just let you know you're not alone, you have people around you. For me, even to start this video, to make this video for you, for all of you to be there and be vulnerable in front of others, it's not easy, because I judge myself a lot. I judge myself about everything I'm gonna say, and I'm afraid to open up. But I know this part of my healing journey, and I'm on my healing journey, is to share with you what's going on in my life and what's going on with how I deal with and what shaped me to be who I am, and trust what I see as bad thing, which is really hard after really betraying, because my nervous system is just unbelievable, so fragile and so sensitive. I can sense everything around me, basically. This is why recently it was really hard for me, because of the energy. The shift we experience, you know, and a lot of people, even non-spiritual people, could notice it. So for me, all of it affect me and affect who I am. So definitely is something that we write, but by sharing with you and telling you basically what's going on in my life and be honest about things is really helpful, because then I know, the first thing I know, I'm not alone and you are there. And if you experience it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But also I know that the more I'm going to open up, the more opportunities would come my way. And this is something that I know since COVID 6 years ago, when I told myself that I need to open up, that I need to be out there. Even if a narcissist would badmouth me and start another YouTube around and say, oh, she's a horrible human being, and she did that to me. I have the right to share my own voice, and I have the right to say to you, this happened to me. It's not something that I wanted to happen to me, but happened to me, and I'm a human just like you. And I think with those words, we're gonna finish up. If you deal with betrayal, just want to let you know, you're not the only one. There's so many of us that deal with betrayal, and betrayal can be in different forms. It can come from your family, it can come from your spouse, it can come from your closest friend from childhood, it can come from so many people. But it rebuilt you, it rebuilt your nervous system, it rebuilt your judgment. It's changed you, it's informed you, because then, you know, you can't trust others. And even for me to ask for help sometimes it's very hard, because I'm afraid to be betrayed by others. So it's really affected me, and affected me very well. And I think this is very important to say. It does affect people, and it does rewrite the nervous system. So with these words, I hope you're going to have a wonderful week, and see you in the next video.